What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Misplayed Magic, the only Magic the Gathering YouTube channel doing giveaways based on how I draft. You'll see up on the screen here, if I do horribly, if I get 0 wins, I'm giving away a collector booster pack of Final Fantasy, all the way down to if I get 7 wins, I'm giving away a draft to one of you. All you have to do to claim this is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below on how you think I did. Before we jump into it, we are going to be spinning the Wheel of Chaos to give ourselves a challenge as we head into today's video. Alright, so for today's challenge, we're going to be doing a one-of-a-kind drafting, meaning in our final deck, we can have 0 duplicate cards. None. Every card must be a one of. We're going to go ahead and jump into it. Hopefully we can get some wins in this challenge. Alright, jumping into our draft, I will say if we're drafting one of cards, we probably want to look at a lot of the rares and maybe let some of the commons go. This pack is pretty weak. It's pretty weak. Triple Triad is not good. It's fun. It's kind of hilarious, but we're not going to be doing it here. I'm going to try and get some wins today. I think it's probably a Dragoon's Wyvern. Toneberry can be good. The Barrett Wallace is decent. SideQuest Raise a Chocobo is okay. Paladin's Arms is okay. It's either really a Dragoon's Wyvern or maybe a Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum. This pack is not super strong. I'm really between these three. I'm going to go with the Wyvern here. I think there's not a huge chance we see another one of those. And we'll jump into this next selection. All right, hopping on into our pack 1, pick 2. So I think I'm probably going to prioritize a removal spell. It's just a matter of which one do we want here. Do we want a Vane's Treachery as a supercell removal spell, a White Auracite, or do we want a Chocobo Kick? I think when we're pairing blue with something, it typically wants to go with green is pretty strong. I think the artifact archetype is a little bit weak, although it can be good. And White Auracite can take any permanent, which is really strong. So I'm kind of leaning Chocobo Kick, but I don't know. What would you do on this one? I'm actually going to go with the White Auracite. I think it is just the strongest because it can hit any permanent. I think that's really strong, and it's not limited to you having a creature out there. All right, hopping on into our third pick. I do think we take the Balam Garden. I love this card. I might like this card too much, but for me, getting to play a land and it becoming a thing feels free. Feels like free things we can do. I think we're definitely picking that up here. I think it goes along nicely. Maybe should have taken the Chocobo Kick because we might be playing some blue-green today, but very excited with that pickup. Moving on into our next selection. This is where it gets interesting. I think I would traditionally probably take a Cornered by Black Mages just because I think this card is really strong, but the double black doesn't really work with what we've got. I think I'm just going to pick up a Gubu Gardener as a really solid 2-drop. We'll look to move sort of into a blue-green shell here to start. Hopping on into this next pick, I do like the Dark Knight's Greatsword quite a bit. Quite a bit. Maybe we'll move into like a Sultai thing here. I don't know that the White Auracite's going to make it. Tifa's Limit Break is okay. It can be really good. It can just like let you win a game. I also think the T-Rex Star is solid, but we'll probably see another one. I'm going to go with the Dark Knight's Greatsword here. Maybe we'll move into a Sultai deck. Hopping on into our 6th selection. Nothing's fantastic here. It's probably just an Ice Flan or maybe a Summon Anima, but Summon Anima is not my favorite. I do like that the Ice Flan can go get us lands. Probably not an Amazu Trader. I will say the UFO also can be decent if we have a ton of towns. Maybe we try the UFO and we take a bunch of towns. I don't think we're missing anything else in that pack that's all that good. Hopping on now into our 7th selection and trying to read the signals. Maybe black is somewhat open. There's a Gaius Van Baelsar. There's a Hecdize, which is decently good. I think I'm going to go with the Hecdize, actually. Still not really sure what our lane's going to be. I don't love the UFO or the Ride the Shoot buff. I think it is kind of fun, but it just is a little bit slow. So I'm going to go with the Hecdize here. Hopping on into our 8th pick. Nothing's great. Nothing's great here. I'm going to go with an Ice Flan as a decent top end. We're still just trying to figure out what our lane is going to be here. Hopping on into our next choice. It's maybe a SideQuest Raise the Chocobo. I don't even know that we want to be playing green, though. The Toneberry is interesting. Maybe it is just a Toneberry. I think that card can be good. Here, I'm going to take a Queen of Gourmet. I think there's a world in which we can make this card work. I don't love the other cards all that much. I mean, Blitzball Shot is okay. We'll take a Rufus Shinra. I don't think we're going to end up playing it here today, but we're pretty open heading into this next pack. We've taken a lot of different colors, and we'll just kind of try and figure out what's going to be open as we continue through this draft. Moving to this next one, I guess we'll take the Garnet. Maybe green-white is where we're supposed to be. And we have an Orsite. We have some good green cards. Not really sure. Instant Ramen is fine. All right, moving on into this next pack. Interesting choices lie ahead for us. I think it's probably the Summon Fenrir. I think this card is so good. Just does so many different things on your 3-drop. Helps you ramp your mana, helps you fix your mana, allows you to put a counter on something and then draw a card eventually. It just kind of replaces itself after doing all that work. I think we're just going to pick that here. I think it's really strong. I think we're not likely to see another one of those in our one-of-a-kind challenge. So I think we're totally fine picking that up here. And I think we are probably playing green to some extent. Moving on into our second selection. I guess we go... I mean, there's nothing that fantastic here. I'm going to go with the Geisel Greens. It makes a token for the Queen of Coup Gourmet. Look, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but it is okay. Moving on through this next one, we could take a Summon Primal Garuda. I think this card can be relatively strong. Maybe we'll do like a green, white, blue sort of archetype. I do think the Garnet is actually decent. We've got the Summon Fenrir. Summon Primal Garuda actually would be kind of a welcome sight. I don't think there's anything else in this pack that is so strong that we're really missing out by taking this card. So I'm going to go with the Summon Primal Garuda here. I think it can be good if we line that card up successfully. Hopping on into our next choice, we've got a couple of good options here. I do think Delivery Moogle is quite strong. Only problem is we don't really have any good artifacts for it. We could prioritize that. I guess we could get the UFO is like a pretty good get for that. We also could just take a Diamond Weapon. I think this card is really good. It is just like really tough to deal with. It is 9 mana. We aren't going to be loading our graveyard all that much, which makes it significantly worse. So maybe it's not that. I think I'm going to go with the Delivery Moogle. It can get the UFO. We'll have an eye out for some cheaper artifacts as well. Hopping on into our 5th selection. So we can't take any duplicates. So we cannot take another Gubu Gardener. We could take a Cloud of Darkness. I think this card is decent. We have a lot of double pips already, though, which I don't feel fantastic about. I think we probably should take a Grand Pulse Ochu, and we live to fight another day here. Hopping on into our 6th selection, I do think now we take an Omega Heartless Evolution over something like an Ultima. I think the Omega is quite strong. I'm going to start looking to get a lot more towns. Moving on into our 7th pick, I do think now we take a Coliseum Behemoth. It's either that or a Town Greeter. I think there's a chance we see another Town Greeter. I don't think we'll see another Behemoth. So I think we're more than fine picking that up here. Hopping on out into our 8th pick, definitely want to prioritize an Eden Seat of the Sanctum. It is going to hurt our mana fixing a little bit, but it goes along nicely with our town synergies. Now moving on into our 9th selection, I think we'll take a Giant Toad. We're probably not going to end up playing it, but it is decent. Here, very excited to take a Windhurst Federation Center, and we're going to look to just take as many towns as we can here. Continuing through this pack, I'm going to take a Paladin's Arms. I think it can be decent. Now, do we want a Monk's Fist or an Aerith Rescue Mission? I guess we'll take a Monk's Fist. We can go get it with the Delivery Moogle. It's like something to do. Cloudbound Moogle is not my favorite card. Magic Pod is also not great. And hopping into this last pack. So, if we have tons of towns, Travel the Overworld is actually pretty solid. So I think that's going to be our pickup here. I don't like anything else all that much, and we will just continue to look out for towns. We can't take another Omega. I would think about it, but we cannot do it here. I think we're just going to go with the Travel the Overworld here as a totally decent card drawing spell. Moving on now into our pack 3, pick 2. We can't take another Geisel Greens. I do think Combat Tutorial is really strong. Or do we just want to take a Trino Dark City and potentially splash black? I think that maybe makes the least amount of sense. So I'm going to go with the Combat Tutorial as a really good card draw effect and also puts a counter on something. Moving on into this next selection. So there's not a lot for us here. The Gladiol's Amakisha I'm interested by. Just as the strongest card in the pack, we do have a pretty high curve. With the Coliseum Behemoth, the Omega, and the Ice Flaon already. But I think there's a chance we're just playing a ton of towns, and we can actually try and make this work. The other pick would be like a Gigantode, maybe a Rook turret. But I think the upside is there for us to take the Gladiolus Amakisha and maybe pick up some more towns to help our lane fixing as much as we can here. Up and now into our 4th pick, I do think we want to just take the Charlayan. It is a good town. We can't take another Summon Primal Garuda. I don't really want to retrieve the Esper. Sunquest at the mark is good, but I don't think we're going to be in black. And we've got a lot of different unique towns. Up and now into our 5th pick. This might be a deck where we actually do want a Blitzball, because we've got just a ton of really expensive things. So I'm going to pick that here. I don't feel fantastic about it. But it also might just be Apprecious Wanderings. Is this just better than the Blitzball? Yeah, let's take Apprecious Wanderings here. Our mana is going to be a little bit psychotic. Moving on into this next pack, I do think we just prioritize taking towns. We take more towns. It'll help us play the Gladiolus Amakisha, which is our Psycho 4th color, but we're going to take it here. It goes along nicely with the UFO as well, which I want to try and make work. Here, I do think we just take another town. It's funny we're getting all the unique towns as well, which is kind of insane. Typically, you see like the same town a couple times, but we have got 6 different towns in our one-of-a-kind challenge. Wow, Mughul's Valor is kind of insane.
Wow.
Kind of insane. I think we probably just take that over a Stuck in Summoner Sanctum. I will say we don't have a ton of removal, so maybe the Stuck in Summoner Sanctum is a little bit better. It's close. I'm going to go with the Mughul's Valor just for the absolute bit. I think that card is hilarious. Hopping on into our 9th pick. It's not great. We'll take a Commune with Beavers, but I don't know that we're going to end up playing that here. And yeah, looking to run out of some steam here in these last couple picks. I mean, we'll take a Town of Ruin. Maybe we'll splash black. We'll just play every color here. Here, I think we're more likely to play an Aerith Rescue mission, although it does not feel fantastic. Magic Pot is fine. Alright, so here is the deck we're rocking with today. You'll notice there are no duplicate cards. It didn't mess with us that much. We still drafted a pretty psychotic looking deck here. We've got tons of towns, some of the town synergies and payoffs, and hopefully we can get some wins here today. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, we go first in this one. It's a little bit of a mana nightmare, but we're going to try it. Hopefully we can draw a forest at some point. We'll start by playing out our tapped town, and then eventually we'll be able to play a Dragon's Wyvern. So, not the worst thing in the world here, but also not a super strong start. Ice Flan is interesting. I don't think we'll just play out the Dragon's Wyvern, which I cannot complain with. I think that's a totally fine play here. Monk's Fist is interesting. I think we're going to start by playing that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just equip it to the Dragoon's Wyvern here. We are not going to be cycling our Ice Flan at the moment, although I can see an argument to be made for doing that, just so we can play the Travel to Overworld eventually. But we're just going to attack for 4 here. Looks like our opponent does have a removal effect. Fate of the Suncrest is quite good. I was thinking about putting the Monk's Fist on the 1/1 just to maximize our damage. Maybe we would have had him at 18. But I went with what I thought was right in the moment. They play a Magitech Armor, which is good. Alright, we get our green source. It's a little bit slow, but I think we're okay with that here. I'm going to go ahead and just equip our Monk's Fist here. And then we are not going to be attacking. I will say, I'm intrigued. I can see an argument to be made for us cycling this. Because it's going to help us with the Travel, the Overworld, and then we can cast our Gladiolus Amakisha next turn. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to. If we draw an island, you know, it was on me, but I think this just makes the most sense for us. I'm surprised they didn't want to attack us with the Magitech Armor there. We're going to go get an island. Precious Wanderings is interesting. I think now we just play the Gladiolus Amakisha. And then I'm going to go get a Balam Garden, of course. I always forget I can do that. And then we will... I think I'm going to attack. I think I'm going to swing with our 4-3 here. If they want to block it, that is fine by me. Renoa Heartily is pretty good here. I will say our trampling is still going to be a little bit of a problem for our opponent. They also cannot now tap down our creature. So I'm going to go... I'm gonna play this very cheekily. We are going to play a town. We are going to give our hero +2/+2 and trample. And then we are going to just attack with the 4-3. And we will potentially Precious Wanderings. I guess we should also attack with the Gladiolus here. We can make it have 7 toughness. I think that's probably right. Just to put the most pressure on our opponent as we can. And we've got the Precious Wanderings, which is going to give the Monk's Fist creature +2/+2. And then we can put a counter on the Gladiolus here, but I think they're going to double block with the Heartily and the Magitech Armor if I had to guess, which is smart. But if they block with like a Coeurl and a Renoa Heartily, it would be Blowout City. They are going to triple block, which is probably smart. So I think now we just do Precious Wanderings. I'm going to go and get another town. We're going to get our Eden Seat of the Sanctum here. And then I'm going to put the counter on the 4-3. And we're going to give that +2/+2 as well. And we're just going to take out the Renoa Heartily and the Coeurl here. Us getting the counter here wouldn't have gotten rid of anything additionally. Oh, if they have a protection spell, that's going to be so annoying. So they're going to give 1 permanent indestructible. I think it's Restoration Magic is probably what they have. They're trying to pick what to save here. Oh, You're Not Alone is also good. So they're just making us take out the Magitech Armor and the Coeurl. I'm okay with that. That's okay. We get them down to 8. And then I'm just going to play out our Grand Pulse Ochu. And then we will play out our Travel the Overworld here, which is not so bad. Yeah, so we can go Omega next turn, which is really strong. So I like the attacks that we made there. I think that made some sense for us. Summon Titan is quite strong. Quite strong. Yikes. Wow, so they are going to attack us everywhere and give their 1 creature +4/+4. We're going to block the Renoa Heartily like this. And then I do think now we are interested in just casting our Omega Heartless Evolution on the Summon Titan. So we're going to do that. We're going to get some life back. And then we're going to hit him for 4. Why? Why do you have Ambrosia Whiteheart in your hand as the 1 card in your hand? Oh my gracious. So they get to play their Summon Titan again next turn, which is really good. And we're gonna have kind of a tough time coming back from that. I think we just put the Monk's Fist on our hero here. Oh, that is so strong. I will say we can attack with the Omega Heartless Evolution next turn, and they have to chump block, which is definitely something. All right, so we draw another land, which is not exactly what we were looking for. I think we're going to start by Omega Heartless Evolution attacking. Yep, they are just going to chump block, which is good. And then I do think we're interested now in playing our Delivery Moogle, going and getting our UFO. And then I think we're just going to play that. And then flip our Balam Garden. And end our turn there. I think that gives us a really good chance of still winning here. We've still got the Omega Heartless Evolution, which is good. If they attack with their Summon Titan, then we're in a good spot. Venat is strong. Summon Chocomog is pretty good as well. We'll see if they attack us here. I do not think they can. So we'll go to our turn. Yikes. So I do think we are supposed to crew. the 2/1. And then just swing out. They're going to be able to kill something we have here with their Summon Titan. We're still getting in for some decent damage as it stands. I mean, as it stands, we'll kill them. Which I maybe should have realized sooner, but we get there! Okay, everything is totally fine. They go down to 0 here, and we are 1-0 on the day. Very exciting start here. Alright, hopping into this next one. This opening hand is not great. I mean, we can only really play a Monk's Fist. We've got some really expensive cards and only one of our colors, so we're going to mulligan this. This is better. This is better. I think that we're going to keep this. We have so many red sources for the Gladiolus. We might have too many. Or maybe we're just drawing all of them. I think we keep this, and I think we actually just put back the Ice Flan. So eventually we'll be able to play at Paladin's Arms into maybe a Precious Wanderings into a Gladiolus Amakisha. I forgot we had Mughals Valor as well. Maybe this card is bad, just because our deck is so slow. Reno and Rude is decent enough. So now we're going to continue playing tap lands, and then we're going to play the untapped forest so we can play our Paladin's Arms next turn. But this Reno and Rude is going to be kind of rude, and we're going to lose some. We're going to lose some health here. Monk's Fist is not a bad draw. So now I do think we just go with the Paladin's Arms. And then we will play a tap land next turn and then play our Monk's Fist. We'll continue to take some hits here. They're just pulling lands off the top, which is good. They'll just sacrifice something else to play it as well. So maybe they'll sacrifice a Heck Dice. Here, what do we discard? Ugh. I kind of want the Mughals Valor. Is that crazy? I think it's probably the town, actually, strangely enough. We've already got our red source. Dragoon's Wyvern is interesting. I do think now we probably just attack. And we'll go and we'll get a island in the Balam Garden Seat Academy. And then we next turn, if we draw an untap lane, we can go Wyvern into Monk's Fist. We can potentially think about a Mughals Valor, but I think we're fine taking 3 here. Hopefully they don't pull anything too good. Another land! Get owned, Reno and Rude! I will say we have to be kind of wary of our life total. We are at 13 quickly. Summon Fenrir is a fantastic draw, so I think we just start by playing that. I think it's going to get countered. Oh, eject is fine. I much rather would have that land. So we're going to go and we're going to get a... We've got double white. We've got double green. I think we're supposed to get a blue source for our Ice Flan. So I'm going to go and get an island here. And then next turn, we can play our Dragoon's Wyvern and our Monk's Fist. Turn after, we can play the Mughals Valor. So not the worst thing in the world here. We'll continue to take 2 from the Reno and Rude. Hopefully they don't pull anything too good. Yeah, keep getting towns. Towns and lands. I think they've pulled 3 or 4 lands, which is so funny. Summon Shiva is pretty dang strong here. So I guess we could White Auracite that. I think I'm actually just going to go Dragoon's Wyvern into Monk's Fist. That kind of sets us up to have a good Mughals Valor turn, so we can create 4 1/2s that gain lifelink and indestructible, and everything gains lifelink and indestructible. But we're going to take a little bit of a hit here. I think we're supposed to block the Reno and Rude. I say that. Yeah, I think we're supposed to. Doesn't feel great, but we just have so much tap down. We got to keep our life total somewhat high here. And their Summon Shiva is not going to be able to attack next turn. Ultimisha is quite good. Alright, so we go with a untapped land, which is solid. I think we probably just White Auracite the Ultimisha here. We also could just play our Gladiolus Amakisha and go get another land. Maybe that's better. Yeah, it's a good blocker. I think I'm going to go with that first, just so they can't attack us with the Ultimisha. And we're going to go and get our Eden Seat of the Sanctum here. It's another town. which is good. And they're going to draw a card, so they have tons of cards in hand. They have tons of mana available, and hopefully we can just hold on for a second here. But if our Gladiolus gets killed, we're in a tough spot. Ooh, they're passing. Whoa. I did not think they were going to be passing. That is really interesting. I think we're going to start by trying to play the White Auracite and taking out their Ultimecia. That way we can use the mana created by the Auracite to cast our Giant Toad. Alright, I mean, we're going to go for it here. We're going to attack everywhere and see what happens. Second Summoner Sanctum is great. We are going to start whacking him in the sky, though, for 3. And then we are going to play a vanilla 6/6, but it's a 6/6. And then our Moogle's Valor still in hand as well is pretty good. Another Summon Shiva is quite strong. Lot Cole is good as well. Ooh, Ice Flan is really interesting. I think now we probably play the Ice Flan. And we're going to tap down their Lot Cole. And then we are not going to be attacking here because they're going to be able to tap something down with their Summon Shiva. Yeah, they are just going to be attacking us. I think we have to block this, which doesn't feel great because the Summon Shiva is leaving next turn. But now they won't get the cards. They would have gotten a lot of cards off of us. Oh no! Evil Reawakened is so good! That is so strong. Dragon's Wyvern's great as well, so they've just tapped down our entire board here, which is not what we wanted to have happen. I mean, what can we even get back here that's good enough? I think we probably just have to Moogle's Valor here, and it does not feel great. Yeah, this is a tough spot to be in. We'll hit him with a good game. We're not technically dead yet, but it's really close to us being dead. No! They had Syncopated Hand as well!
Oh my god!
It is a good game. Alright, we go down here. I mean, Summon Shiva 3 times is a lot of times. And we go down. We're 1-1, but we can bounce back. I think this deck has actually got some legs here today. Alright, hopping into this next one, I do think we keep this. We've got the UFO on 2, which is not bad, into some draw spells, into getting some lands, so really cannot complain with this start that we're having. Cecil Dark Knight is interesting. I do think now we will just play out our UFO, and then potentially we'll try and play a couple lands next turn if we draw 2. But Summon Primal Buddha is going to be pretty good for that Cecil. I assume they're going to be attacking us with it, trying to get their life total and our life total down here. Yeah, so we are not going to be blocking that. I forgot we had the Queen of Coup Gourmet in this deck. We're going to go Plains, and then I'm just going to preach his Wanderings. I really want to make sure we can get a Balam Garden and then also be able to play our combat tutorial. And then we are not attacking because I think we can try and block the Undercity Dire here. Resentful Revelation is fine. So I think that we are okay just blocking the Undercity Dire here. And then we'll probably just play the Summon Primal Garuda and take out the Cecil. If I had to guess, we also could just combat tutorial and hit our land drops. Maybe that's better. Yeah, let's do it. Let's draw some cards. And I will say they are hitting themselves with a... Ooh, we didn't draw any lands. Ugh. That's not great.
Wow! I'm so smart!
They are going to be hitting us with the Cecil and getting their life total down as well. Why are they attacking with an Undercity Dire? We're going to block. I'm too interested. Maybe they really wanted the treasure. I do think now we'll probably just summon Primal Garuda, so their Cecil doesn't get too crazy here. Galacat is fine. I'm not sure why they didn't want their Undercity Dire Rat. I guess only time will tell. Ugh. I guess we just play the Summon Primal Garuda here, and we take out their Cecil Dark Knight. Restoration Magic! Of course you have that card! Why, of course. So I don't think we're attacking, and I think we might just block the Cecil with the Summon Primal Garuda here. Oh, that's frustrating. Paladin's Arms is good. I will say it doesn't make it to where their Galacat is not a 3-3. Alright, can we draw a land? We can, which is great news. Great news for us. So I think now we're going to go a little bit on the value train. So I'm going to go with the Queen of Gourmet into the Geisel Greens. And we're going to make a bird and a frog. And then I guess we're attacking with the Summon Primal Garuda here. Yeah, let's attack with both, actually. We'll get our opponent down to 11. I will say then they'll be able to hit us with the Cecil Dark Knight, which won't feel great. So let's maybe hold the Primal Garuda back. We'll just attack with the UFO. Get him down to 14. I think we're fine blocking the Cecil Dark Knight with our Primal Garuda before it dies. Poison the Waters. That's pretty good. It can get our Gladiolus Amakisha out of our hand. We still do have the Travel to Overworld, which is good if we draw another island. Demon Wall is fine. All right, we do draw another island, which is fantastic. So now I think we start by... I think we probably just put it on the Queen of Gourmet here. And then we will play an island. I am going to play a Dragoon's Wyvern into a Gubu Gardener just to continue making some frogs here. I do think we will now attack with our Queena and our UFO. Because we can sacrifice a frog and save our Queena if they block with their Galacat. I think we're okay just doing this damage and playing out our Gubu Gardener now. Does not feel horrible. We've got a big board here. I do like the Queen of Gourmet. I like this card. I think it's fun. Makes a bunch of frogs. Ahriman is decent. Alright, Mughals Valor is insane. Absolutely insane. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to do with this. We're gonna make 8 1/2s, and then we're also gonna make a frog. Holy smokes. Do we do it now, or do we travel to Overworld first? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna play it on our turn, and we're gonna have an insane Mughals Valor. We're gonna go for it here. We're gonna make a bajillion tokens. And we get there! Alright, 2-1 on the day, and we are right back in action here. Alright, hopping into this next one, I definitely think we're keeping this. We can go with the Ochu on 1 into a Summon Fenrir to go and try and get some islands for our travel to Overworld. We really have no towns in this opening hand, but I think that's okay. Balam Seed Garden is a fantastic draw. So we're just going to play that out, and we are going to attack with our 1/1 with Death Touch. Next turn, we'll play our Summon Fenrir. I think we'll probably go and get another island. I think that's probably smarter than us going and getting a mountain at this moment, just because we have the Overworld in hand. So I think we just do that here. I'm going to play the Plains in case we draw our White Oricite and want to use it. We're going to start by just attacking with our 1/1 and then playing a Summon Fenrir. And I do think now we're supposed to just go get another island. I'm going to do that instead of the mountain. Hopefully we don't draw the Gladiolus Amakisha immediately. But I think that just allows us to be able to travel to Overworld eventually, which will be good. Bard's Bow is pretty decent. Ooh, White Oricite, we do end up drawing that, which is pretty dang strong here. So I think we're going to just eat their token here and then attack for 4. We're not going to get the counter off of the Summon Fenrir, which isn't great, but I think swinging for 4 here makes some sense. And then eventually our Summon Primal Garuda will be good, will allow us to attack in the skies a little bit better. And they are just passing right back to us, which is kind of insane. We also get to draw a card here, which is very nice. The Garnet was close to being able to save our Summon Fenrir, but it is going to be good at saving our Primal Garuda. We draw our Mountain, which is really solid. So I think now we just go with a attack. We're going to swing for 1, get him down to 13. And then we are just going to play our Garnet Princess of Alexandria into our Summon Primal Garuda here for a kind of fun combo. I don't think we've gotten to do the thing with the Garnet and the lore counters yet on the channel, so excited to try and do that here. And we get through again! All right, ripping through this challenge now. We are 3-1 on the day. All right, hopping on to this next one. We go first. I think we're definitely keeping this. Don't have a ton of towns, but we have the ability to play a Geisel Greens on 2, eventually a Summon Primal Garuda, and any land draw is going to be a welcomed addition for us here. Ooh, Commune with Beavers is an interesting pull. So we're going to start by swinging for 2 here. I should say 3. And then I do think we just play the Commune with Beavers, and we see what we're working with on the top of our library here. UFO is interesting. Is that better, or is the Paladin's Arms better? We have no towns, so I'm going to go with the Paladin's Arms over something like another forest. And then next turn, we'll either play that or the Summon Primal Garuda. Blitzball is really slow. Very, very slow. So I think now we're intrigued to just attack for 3 and then play out a Paladin's Arms. Feels pretty good to me. And then next turn we can play the Summon Primal Garuda. But our opponent is probably ramping to something good here. Chocobo Racetrack is still quite slow here. I do think we probably are just playing out a Summon Primal Garuda here just for the flying impact it's going to have. And then we can attack with a 3-3 and a 4-2. Reach the Horizon is pretty good. But we're going to be attacking in the skies pretty well here. If we draw a mountain, there's one mountain in our deck. If we draw that mountain, it's going to get nasty. We don't, which is okay. That would have been a little bit unreasonable. We are just going to be attacking with our 4-2 and our 3-3. And hopefully this can be enough here. We'll play out a Grand Pulse Ochu. And I guess that's all we're going to do. Maybe we should move the Paladin's Arms to our bird. Yeah, I'm going to do that, actually. What's nice is we have the Coliseum Behemoth that can eventually go to the Chocobo Racetrack, but our opponent is definitely ramping up here for sure. X-Death is great, so it allows him to get some of that life back. What's nice is if we are able to draw a land, because we move the Paladin's Arms to the bird, it actually would be lethal. We don't, which is so sad. So we're going to attack for 5 in the sky, which is so close to being good. Oh! If we had a land, that would have been so solid. Now we're actually going to struggle to push this last damage through. I will say, we're going to play a Giant Toad. Hopefully we can eventually play the Amakisha or the Travel to Overworld. Sephiroth's Intervention's great, so they're getting some more life back. So even if we drew a land, it would not have mattered. T-Rexar is great. Our opponent is running a value engine over there, getting a ton of value back. I think we're fine taking 2 here. And then Dragoon's Wyvern is not a bad draw at all. I cannot complain with that. We're going to hold back on attacking. We are not going to try and hit them with our Grand Pulse Ochu. I think we're going to try and block their T-Rexar with that. The birds are coming alive. They do also have 4 action cards in their hand because they didn't play a land last turn. So that is definitely concerning. Kieran Merchant is decent. I will say we have a flyer that's going to have a Paladin's Arms on it. Vanille is quite good. What are they going to get back? A forest is not bad. I do think we're supposed to block this with our Grand Pulse Ochu. We'll take 5. And then we're just going to... The goal is Dragoon's Wyvern with the shield on it. And hopefully we can just stay alive here for a second. We could also go and get a... Let's do that. Let's go and get a mountain. And we're going to put the 1/1 counter on the Wyvern. Because we couldn't have attacked... We couldn't have won this turn anyway. We're going to put the counter on the Wyvern and attack with a 3/2. And then hopefully our Wyvern can stay alive here. That is the goal. Yeah. You make a bunch of birds. We get it. Can we stay alive for a second here? Maybe. I'm not doing any... I'm not taking any risks. We're blocking as good as we can. Precious Wanderings is solid. But do you have an answer for our Dragoon's Wyvern, my friend? If they do, we lose. If not, we actually win. Can we steal this game with a Dragoon's Wyvern and a Dream? They're digging. Did they draw a removal spell? Did they do it? Sage's Newliths does not get it done. They have 3 mana left. Oh my gosh, we win! 1 Dragoon's Wyvern and an absolute dream, and we are now 4-1 on the day. That was insane. I cannot believe we won that game. All right, moving on into this next one. I do think we keep this. Yeah, these opening hands are so weird with all the towns that we have, but we can commune with beavers and maybe smooth out this curve a little bit. We'll probably go and get a land with the Ice Flawn anyways. And it's interesting. We'll have a cheap travel to Overworld potentially. So we'll start by playing our Wind Trust so we can play our commune with beavers. They have a Balam Garden Seed Academy, which is awesome. I'm so here for that. I think now we probably are supposed to commune with beavers, so that next turn we can go and get an island if we need to. I think we'll probably just take a town here instead of the UFO, just because I want to be smoothing out this curve as much as we can. We got to get to where we can play the Gigantode. Right, the Shoopluff is interesting. So now I'm going to go... I'm going to go tap land and actually just play the Ochu. As crazy as that sounds. And then next turn, we're just going to play the Gigantode. And I'm going to actually try and draw into some of these islands. If we can't do it, that's fine. We'll cycle our Ice Flawn. But because this is 2 blue mana, I didn't feel the need to cycle that then. Summon Fenrir is great. Very good card. So we're going to get to make it into a 4/3, which is good. That's going to be smacking us. Interesting. Precious Wanderings is pretty good. I think now we're just going to attack with our... Actually, I guess we shouldn't attack. And we'll just play out our Giant Toad. And then next turn, we can cycle the Ice Flawn to get an island. We'll go get another island in the Balam Garden with the Precious Wanderings. And that will really open up our hand here. And I think we're fine trading our Grand Pulse Ochu with their Summon Fenrir, if they want to do that. Gigantode is decent. It enters as a 5/5, which is definitely something here. All right, so they are interested in keeping their Summon Fenrir alive. So we're going to go cycle this for an island. We are going to play said island. And then I'm going to attack them with our Giant Toad. I'm going to do it. They can attack us with the Summon Fenrir, and... I mean, we are still going to put a counter on this. And then we're going to get a Balam Garden, which is perfect. We'll put a counter on our Gigantode. They'll take 5. And then they still don't have a great attack back because we have the Grand Pulse Ochu still up. And then next turn we can play the Gladiolus, eventually into the Behemoth, eventually into Travel to Overworld. So it is coming together for us here, which I'm really excited about. Looks like they are getting a little bit stuck on lands here, which is great news for us. World map means they are not going to be stuck on lands for long. So they're going to go and get a Plains, which makes their Gigantode into a decent enough blocker. We'll see if they keep it up here or if they're going to attack us. Thief's Knife is good as well. So they are not going to be attacking us. I think we're supposed to Gladiolus Amakisha. It's going to help our Gigantode grow into a behemoth, and we've got double everything we need, so I'm just going to take the Eden Seed of the Sanctum here. We'll make our Gigantode into a 9/9 and be attacking with that. And then next turn we can Coliseum Behemoth, we could White Auracite, and travel the Overworld for 2, which has got to be a record. And hopefully we have enough to get it done here. I love the Grand Pulse Ochu. I think it's great in this type of deck where we can just slow down a Gigantode to not want to attack us. Another Gigantode is decent enough. What's nice now is we can just White Auracite their 7/7. And this is going to allow us to be able to attack pretty well with both of our creatures here. So I'm actually going to swing everywhere. If they want to double block the Gladiolus Amakisha, that's fine by me. Because they would die. And we get there! All right, we are now 5-1 on the day, absolutely ripping through this thing. All right, hopping into this next one, our opponent goes first. I do think we keep this because we can go Grand Pulse Ochu into Apricia's Wanderings eventually. Hopefully we can find that second white source. Ilmeg Pixie's pretty good. Pretty good. I think now we actually will attack them with our 1/1. Please trade, and we'll just play a Gubu Gardener. This will allow us to ramp a little bit towards our Gladiolus Amakisha, and it's tricky to know what to get here, because I don't really want to get another planes for just the White Auracite on an Ilmeg Pixie. So I think we're going to Apricia's Wanderings and go and get the mountains so we can play our Gladiolus Amakisha, especially because we drew that island. So I'm going to do that. We're going to play the island. We're going to Apricia's Wanderings and go and get our red-green town. And we're going to put a counter on our Grand Pulse Ochu. We're going to opponent down to 16. And then next turn we can actually play the Gladiolus Amakisha and go and get the white land. Or we could get the Balam Garden Seed Academy, which would also be pretty strong here because we've already got a couple of towns. But Ilmeg Pixie's good. Good magic card. I'm hoping they tap all the way out here and they're not going to try and counter anything we play. If they pass with 4 mana up, I'm going to be scared. Scorpion Sentinel's good. Esper Origins is good. I take back one of them to tap out. That was a great couple of cards there. We are going to just play out a forest. Because we drew a white source here, and I want to play the Gladiolus Amakisha on this turn, we're going to go and we're going to get the Balam Garden Seed Academy. We're going to put the +2/+2 on the Ochu, and then we're going to attack for 4. And then next turn, we'll think about just flipping the Balam Seed Garden, but I think we're going to probably White Auracite something just so we can get a leg up in this race. If they just do Esper Origins and they play that out, we might just take that out. Or we might just take out the Ilmeg Pixie, because it is pretty good. Stuck in Summoner Sanctum on the Gladiolus Amakisha is good. I'm also realizing this is not a Plains. So we're not going to be able to play the White Auracite next turn, which is a little bit of a misstep. It was definitely not my best playing, but I think it's going to be okay. They are going to be attacking us with both of their creatures, which is interesting. So we're going to go down to 10. I do think we're going to play our town now, and then we're just going to go and flip our Balam Garden Seed Academy. Ooh, Dragon's Wyvern is really interesting too. Either way, I think we're playing our Charlayan, and we will put it on our Grand Pulse Ochu, and then we are just going to be attacking with... I think we're just going to do 1 here. Get him down to 10. And then I think we are going to flip the Balam Garden because next turn we can go White Auracite into Dragoon's Wyvern. So that's my logic there. and we'll end our turn. So this way we can block their Scorpion Sentinel still. But we're gonna go down. We're gonna go down to at least 7 here. Bard's Bow is good. They might be afraid of our Balam Garden. We'll see. Nope, they're still going to be attacking us with their Ilmeg Pixie, which is quite strong. Alright, so it is now back to our turn. Coliseum Behemoth is crazy. Crazy draw. What an insane thing to draw. Wow, that is really insane. So I think we're supposed to play this a little bit conservatively now, actually. So I'm going to put the +2/+2 on the Ochu. We're going to White Auracite their Ilmeg Pixie. We're playing around a counter here as well, which is great. I think they might actually have one. So they might counter our Dragoon's Wyvern, but even if they do, it's going to be alright. We're going to try and play that here. Okay, they don't have a counter. And we will just crew our Balam Garden Seed Academy. And then we will attack with the Ochu and the Balam Garden. Looks like they have some sort of... Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum is great. So they're going to tap down our Balam Garden. And then we are still going to attack with our Grand Pulse Ochu. And then I doubt they're going to attack us with their Bard's Bow creature. So I think it's just probably just an Esper Origins turn. Gain some life back. Yep. I think we'll probably Coliseum Behemoth the Scorpion Sentinel instead of the Bard's Bow here. I think it's just a little bit stronger. Oh, Dragoon's Wyvern is such a good pull. Yeah, so we definitely went a little aggressive there by crewing and trying to attack with the Balam Garden. I still think it's probably right, though. Wow, they're not attacking us. I think that is a potential misstep by our opponent. So we are going to just play the Coliseum Behemoth here. And I do think we just want to destroy their 4/4. I think this just swings it back our way a little bit. What's tough is we're going to play our Monk's Fist as well. They're going to get some mana here, but then all creatures they have are going to get +2/+2 and trample until end of turn, which is really strong. I guess we attack with the Grand Pulse Ochu. Yeah, we're supposed to do that. I forgot we had that guy over there. I think we're more than fine with this block. I think getting them to 6 would be good, though, just because we have the Coliseum Behemoth out on the battlefield, ready to whack them. They are really thinking through this block. I think it makes sense for us to attack with that to make this uncomfortable for them. We also got the Eden Seed of the Sanctum, which we need to not forget about. Right now we have nothing in our graveyard to go get, but eventually I think if we trade like a Coliseum Behemoth, being able to play that again is going to be really strong. Ooh, I'm more than fine with that. So they're going to have a ton of mana. They've got 2 cards. What do you have, Merman Monster? T-Rex are so good. So great. So they get some life back. Okay, Queen of Coup Gourmet is certainly a draw we could have had. We have to be really careful not to die here. So for that reason, we can't really attack with the Coliseum Behemoth because we're needed as a blocker. So I'm just going to play the Queen of Coup Gourmet. Just so our defenses will be up as much as they can. If they have another removal effect here, we just lose. Like if they tap down our Coliseum Behemoth, it is wraps. I don't think we want to be attacking with the Dragoon's Wyvern just because I don't know exactly what's going to go down here. So they have 16 points of trampling damage. If they kill our Coliseum Behemoth here, they have exactly enough to kill us. Because we have 9 blockers. They have 16 points of trampling. So we have 9 defense, 9 toughness that is. And so we would take exactly 7 if they killed our Coliseum Behemoth. Which would be tough. Jill! They win. And I think they just did the math that we did of they've got 16 power. We've got 9 toughness. What in the world? Why not just bounce our Coliseum Behemoth and win? I mean, this also works. Okay, they just decided to do the... We have no cards in hand. 16 minus 9 is in fact 7. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Please don't attack everywhere. Stop it. Don't attack everywhere. Don't do it. Please don't do it. My guy, you have 16 power. We have 9 toughness. You win.
No.
Pull one back. Pull back a defender. Do it. Please. Yes! Yes! Okay, we're not technically dead. Okay, fantastic news. So, I mean, we're really dang close to being dead. We should take out their Bard's Bow creature here. Actually, we can just super block the Balamti Rexar and try and kill it that way. I will say they still do have a Jill. Like, I don't know what I'm acting like we're going to be able to do here. But we're technically not out of this yet because they did not attack everywhere. My guy should have definitely attacked with the 3/3 as well. So now it's interesting. They can make one of their things unblockable. And they're going to just make their 3/3 unblockable. Which is tough. I don't think there's anything we can do here. I think we're supposed to just play the Garnet and, like, pray that they don't see it. I mean, they missed lethal last turn, so maybe this is a legitimate line here. Maybe they'll miss it again. We never know. And we do have a lifelinker out there just a little bit too late, which is so sad. So sad. Let's hit him with the Gladiolus. Let's make him nervous. We should have been out of this a turn ago, but I think we're sadly still out of it. If we could have pulled a removal spell for the Jill, we would have been right back in this thing. But surely they see that they can kill us now and make a 3/3 unblockable. We're going to end our turn there. Surely they can figure this one out. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. And we go down. Maybe they won't attack. Okay, they attacked us. All right, we go down in this one. We almost had a miracle comeback there, but we go down now. We're 5-2 on the day, still alive in this trophy run. All right, moving on into this next one. Our opponent took a mulligan. I definitely think we keep this. We can play the Ochu and the Commune with Beavers eventually. Summon Fenrir we will be able to play on 3 if we play our towns correctly. So I think we're fine with this opening hand. So we will just play a tapped reactor town. We've got all of our lands except for an island, so we'll probably go and get... We drew an island. I do think now we probably just play a Grand Pulse Ochu and continue to play some tap lands. And then next turn we'll play our Summon Fenrir. They have a Summon Fenrir. Very nice. Very nice. This card's great. Very good card. Mughul's Valor is kind of insane. So we're going to start by we're going to swing at him. We're going to make him nervous with our Grand Pulse Ochu here. We're going to play our own Summon Fenrir. Because we've already got double white in our hand, I think now I guess it doesn't super matter what we get here, actually. Let's just take another forest then. Oh, we didn't get double blue. Oh gosh. Hopefully that won't matter. Oh no, that might have been so dumb. If we draw like an Ice Fawn next turn, I'm going to feel like an idiot. Combat Tutorial is solid. I think we're pretty comfortable with the block here, actually. I say that. We can Queen of Cougar main next turn. Maybe we don't block. Giant Toad is really interesting. So I think we probably play a untap land. And then we will just play a Giant Toad and Commune with Beavers. I guess we're supposed to attack with the Ochu just in case they don't want to draw a card. So hopefully this resolves. If it doesn't, we're in a tough spot. Okay, it does. So now they're not going to get to draw a card off of their Summon Fenrir. And we pull a Colosseum Behemoth. I think has got to be the pick here. Yep. Eden Sea of the Sanctum's also close, but we've already got to where we have 6 lands. So hopefully the 7th will come shortly thereafter. We can play our Colosseum Behemoth and apply maximum pressure. We'll also get to draw an additional card with our Summon Fenrir as it currently stands. Vivi is a good magic card. Very good magic card. I feel like they're going to remove our Summon Fenrir here. That one's always hard to deal with. Okay, maybe they're not going to remove it. So we get to draw a card with our Summon Fenrir, which is good. We also drew a land. Oh, we were so close to saving the Summon Fenrir again, and we don't. So we're supposed to go tap land. So the next turn we can play our Colosseum Behemoth. I think we are going to just attack everywhere. See what happens. Maybe they have like an ice magic in hand. That's the only thing I can think of. They return like the Gigantode, maybe. I still think we're probably just going... Tifa's Limit Break is weird. So we're not going to attack with our Giant Toad yet. Okay. And then we will just play out our Garnet and our Queen of Ku Gourmet. So that when we play our Mughals Valor, eventually it's good. Colosseum Behemoth next turn will be solid. So not the worst thing in the world. But Avivi is always scary to be looking across the way from. Call Mountain Chocobo is good. So now they have 3 more mana to work with. 4 really if they play their mountain. Yeah, I'm afraid. I am certainly fearful here. Prisha's Wanderings is decent here. What's nice is we'll be able to attack with the Giant Toad next turn. Their Vivi is turning into a wagon, though, which is very concerning. I do think now we probably just play the UFO and attack everywhere. So I'm going to do that. And we're going to make a ton of Mughals Valor tokens. We're going to take out their bird here, too, which is really nice. And we get them down to 8. Hopefully this is enough here. That is so many tokens. But they have a lot of mana to play with. Vivi is a wagon, so I'm hopeful this will get it done. But I'm definitely not positive. Sleep Magic on a token is really strange. What?
Hey, that was weird.
Unless they're just going to cast a million spells and try and kill us this turn. They still got a ton of mana to play with. Alright, they're going for it. Travel the Overworld is not bad. They've got 3 more mana. Surely we can do this. 4 more. Dragon's Wyvern is really good. It actually gives them a chance here. Oh, White Orsite is such a good draw. It's almost unfair. We're going to White Orsite their VV. They only have 1 mana up. And I believe this gets it done. Yeah! Alright, we get there again. We're now 6-2 on the day. Alright, hopping on into this last game. Remember, if I get 7 wins in this draft, I'm giving away a draft to one of you. All you have to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, and hopefully I can get this victory. We're gonna keep this opening hand. I don't mind it all that much. We've got a lot of our colors. Hopefully we can find a plane somewhere, but a couple 2-drops into a Giant Toad. It could certainly be worse here for us. We'll play a Balam Garden tap first. I do think now we are interested in getting the UFO online, because if we draw a land next turn, we can play 2 lands, which is better than playing 1 land. They're going to cycle a T-Rexar. Looks like they are doing normal Magic things. All right, we get a travel to Overworld, which is not a bad pull. I think we're just going to play out a... It's probably a Geisel Greens, honestly. And then hopefully we can continue to draw some lands after this turn. And we will just pass there. Gigantode is fine. Hopefully we can draw a land here. Need it. Have to have it. Plains is incredible. Incredibly good. I will say Delivery Moogle is bad. We've got the UFO already out there. So next turn, we are certainly going to try and kill their Giant Toad with our Summon Primal Garuda. So to play towards that, we're just going to play a Delivery Moogle here. I don't think we have anything in our library. Yeah, we don't. And then we are just going to pass there. And then I'd assume they're going to attack us with their Giant Toad here. We can play the Summon Primal Garuda and try and remove it off the battlefield. That's why I didn't really want to play our Giant Toad there. Hopefully they attack us here. Yes! Yes! Please attack us. We are not blocking. We will take 4. We are terrified of your Giant Toad. Surely there's nothing we can do about it. Incredible news. Incredible news. Wow. Garnet with the Primal Garuda is really interesting. So I don't think we can save it. Because it's going to resolve. I think we're supposed to just play it. I don't think we want to get too cheeky with this. We're just going to play the Summon Primal Garuda on the Giant Toad here. Hopefully this resolves. They do have potentially some like protection spells up in green. We'll see if they save their Giant Toad here. Come on, resolve. Yeah, let us kill your thing. And then we are just going to attack with our 2-2 and our 3-2. We've got lots of flyers. I assume they have some sort of removal effect here. They're just going to cycle again? That is really surprising. So maybe they have another T-Rexar in hand? I have no idea. But I'm definitely nervous of what they're building over there. Oh, fight on. That makes sense. So now they can play their T-Rexars. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I will say we've got some good flying action right now. So I think we're going to try and race this by just having some good flyers out there. We draw land, which is quite strong. We're going to give the 2-2 flying. So I think now we are actually just going to play our Garnet Princess of Alexandria. And then we are going to attack everywhere and get really aggressive. And we're going to give our UFO +2/+0 so that we get our opponent down to 6. And then next turn, the goal is they just play a T-Rexar here. They go back up to 9, and we can try and kill him in the sky with our Delivery Moogle, our Garnet, and our UFO. Sorry, Delivery Moogle, Bird, and UFO. So that's the idea here. Juggalo Kick is great. So now we can't kill him. I still think that move was good. It was a little bit aggressive, but I think it was still a solid one. Because now they can't play their other T-Rexar. Summon Fenrir is really interesting. I think I want the life. I want the life here. So we are now just going to be attacking with our Garnet. They have another removal spell. Would be solid. Maybe we should have done the Summon Fenrir first, so that we could have done the removing the thing. I guess it wouldn't have really mattered here. So yeah, we'll lose our Garnet, which is good for our opponent. And then I do think now we will just go Summon Fenrir into... And we'll get a Plains with this. So we have our double white for our white Auracite. And then we will just play a Monk's Fist. Nothing fantastic, but we're still hanging in there. We've still got a UFO, and hopefully they slow down a little bit, but they still have a ton of cards in hand. They're playing this game well. Fight On was really good. Yeah, second T-Rexar is solid. So I think they're going to maybe start attacking us here just because they got all the way back up to 11 health, and we are not going to be taking it. But they have some good attacks on us next turn, and they also have a ton of cards in hand, which is really good. I do think now we're interested in playing out our Giant Toad as a 7/7, which actually blocks those things really well. And then we're just going to attack with our UFO. And we're going to pay 3. And slowly but surely try and kill him in the sky. But Giant Toad was a really, really solid draw there for us. But they still have 5 cards in hand, which is so scary. Oh, I'm so afraid. Relentless ATM is really good. Combat Tutorial is pretty interesting. So now we just like have to stay alive. So I'm going to go Dragoon's Wyvern, Combat Tutorial. We will draw the cards, not my opponent. We're going to put a counter on the UFO. We'll play a Forest. And then I think we're just going to equip the Monk's Fist to the UFO. So we get our opponent down to 7. And we're just going to try and stay alive here. But I'm afraid of the Relentless ATM plus the T-Rexars. If our opponent has removal spells, we're in a tough spot. I also think they haven't really been playing lands. I think they're like all action in their hand right now, which is a scary spot for us to be in. Cloud of Darkness is good, so we're going to get rid of our Dragoon's Wyvern. They still don't have great attacks here, though. So we have some options. I think we're supposed to attack with our UFO first. And then I'm going to be... I think that's fine. We'll get him down to 5. And then I really do think we're more interested in traveling the overworld here. Oh, we drew every expensive spell that we had. Oh no, that puts us in a real bind. So we're going to have to commune with the beavers. Oh no! We can't... Oh, we can't cast our White Aura Sight. We are going to take it. But... Oh, that's so close to being good. So we're probably dead here. I assume they have a removal spell. And they can kill us. We definitely played that greedily by playing our Travel to Overworld. It was so close to being so good. But I assume this is it for us. Esper Origins is good. I think if they had a removal spell, they would have just fired it off and won. I'm intrigued as to what is happening here. Any removal spell, they just win. They're a mythic player. Surely they would figure this out and not slow roll us. Okay. Oh no! Okay, we're definitely dead. So we're gonna block like this and go down to 9. I assume we're dead here. Are we not? Esper Origins again is good. They'll get some life back. Okay. We get there! I have no idea what our opponent was doing there. Can I go back to the battlefield? Okay, so I think that what we would have done is we had 10 lands to play with. We would have just White Aura Sighted the Summon Esper Meduin, and we would have won. I think that's what they saw. But we could have done that and played the Gladiolus on Makisha, which would have been good. We could have also just played the... Yeah, that was really all we could have done. And our opponent just absolutely fumbled. We could have also played the Ice Fawn. But we get there, which is the important thing, and we get a trophy here today again, which is super exciting. This deck was hilarious. It's definitely not the strongest deck we've ever drafted, but it was really good. It was certainly a one-of-a-kind deck. So if you're interested in winning this draft, I'm going to be reaching out to one of you in the comments. I'll be buying you a draft on Arena. All you have to do is send me what you end up drafting with. This was super fun. This deck was super silly, and we end up getting there. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time.